Hi guys, welcome to another movie crew review. Today I'll be reviewing from the world of John Wick, Ballerina.
The movie stars Ana de Armas, Anjelica Huston, and Keanu Reeves.
So, this installment of the world of John Wick, we see Eve Macarro, a young girl who loses her father to a cult, go through the Roma Ruska and then avenge her father through a revenge cycle a la the John Wick film. So, we are going to get into the review, and Moon is going to start us off this time.
Alright, so I'm of a belief that less is more, and the lesser the universe is, better it is. But I wouldn't say that this movie is bad or great, but it is there. But I don't hate this movie. I don't love it, but it's fine for me. Best part of this movie is somehow Keanu Reeves, for me at least. Even though he was in, say, I think 15 minutes maximum. And yeah, he shines through. Ana de Armas, even though like she kicks ass. I think I saw her in like an action movie first time in one of the Bond movies. She was there for a cameo, and I was like, I need to watch a movie just solely her. And I got the movie today, but I'm sort of disappointed. The reason being, so this movie is there is a lot of backstory here, and sometimes it felt like a watered down plot of Batman Begins, because even the last act was like placed in where the League of Legends was. Anyway, so there is so much backstory to it. I do appreciate it, but sometimes it just felt like we just, stuck in the past way too much. And yeah, that was sort of a plus point and a negative as well. My favorite scene from the movie is it's like a one shot, with she's driving and she gets hit by a car, so it's like a one take, like one shot scene, like it doesn't cut. That's like my favorite scene of the whole movie. And there was one like a table action fight scene which was fine. Yeah. um the last act is basically takes place in this secluded island, and everyone is, the part of the cult. And I don't know, it was just way too many people, and I don't know why they went there, like, why we going there. So I don't like that choice. It felt so elongated. It's like I could shave like easily 20 minutes of the movie. It just went forever. So I just wanted to end at the end. So yeah. Cameron?
Yeah, I gotta agree with Moon on the parts of the movie where it did feel a bit slow, especially at the start when we're getting her character fleshed out. I just wasn't, her character to me wasn't very compelling. I don't know whether it was just a me thing or whatever. But I mean, because it's part of the John Wick world, I mean, the sound was fantastic. I mean, the stunts and coordination and the fight scenes were amazing. So that's one thing that I thought I'd be burnt out a bit from the four John Wicks, but somehow they've made it seem different. Like there was a lot less gunplay in this movie, and they find other ways to entertain you. Like they use a lot of grenades in this one, and my favorite fight scene was with the flamethrower. I saw it in the trailer, and that was the only thing that got me excited for this movie. And I'm like, all right, here we go. And then, my God, and it just didn't. It wasn't like a quick 2 minute scene. Like they used this flamethrower for a good 10 minutes, and I had a big smile on my face, and it was so much fun, and it was rejuvenating the series for me, and just kept it refreshing. Unlike Moon, I did enjoy the cult aspect because for four John Wicks, we've seen the assassin side, and I'm done with that. I'm done with John Wick. I think that story is finished for me. I'm happy with that series and how it ended for me in number four. But to see a totally different side of things, where we're not running through the same thing, I really appreciated that. And I like that she wasn't just a John Wick, a chick version of John Wick. I think she did have her own thing. I just didn't find her compelling enough to hold her own in the movie. But like Moon said, it was great to see Keanu back for that little cameos here and there throughout the movie. And I love how they make him feel like he is the best, because even she was struggling, and you could tell in their fight scene, like, he was just playing around with her, which makes it feel like it still has continuity with the series. That's why John Wick's the best and no one can kill him. But yeah, I mean, like Min said, it's not a bad movie. It's just fine. John?
Yeah, I enjoyed the film. Like Moon said, I think that the runtime probably could have shaved off maybe 10, 15 minutes in the overall, maybe the Prague stage and a little bit of the entry bit where she's a child. But I think it does convey the pretty much story from start to finish of a revenge film. I think the action is probably, for me, the thing that keeps me interested the most. The gunjitsu doesn't really play much part in this film. You do see it at the end with Keanu Reeves, John Wick. So I do appreciate that they've used him in a way that isn't just like some kind of fan service, chuck him in for 3 seconds and then market it like he's in a lot of the film. He does play a big part in the third act. Ana de Armas does a really good job with all the action scenes and making the character her own. It's not so much a character that it's like female John Wick. It's more a character that has come up, and we see a good training montage of her learning to fight, and they kind of go into the whole aspect of she's always going to be weaker than the guy, so she needs to fight on a different level and use her skills. So I did enjoy the aspects of that film, and you get to see that different kind of fighting throughout, especially in that last part of the film where she's in the cult, she's fighting. I did really enjoy the flamethrower. That was quite fun, especially when it starts with the dark tunnel and you just see the flames shoot right out. I thought that was quite good. Keanu Reeves coming into it, I think at the start sets up the end quite well, which is nice. And we see it's probably midway through chapter 3 she meets him, and then it's at the end of chapter 3 before chapter 4 that he's in the last part of this film. So that's kind of your time frame for where this film fits into the universe. Anjelica Huston as the director, she's quite well done, and same as she was in the previous films. Really fun, real interesting character. We get to see a bit more of her, and she's real tough. And I think that bringing back the hotel manager, bringing back the proprietor, they're good characters to bring in from the John Wick films that still give it continuity and link everything up, but they don't feel shoehorned in, especially how they link them to Eve's character. And the villain this time around, he doesn't feel as empty sometimes as the other villains do in the films. He kind of has a sternness, a toughness that I did like. But the main draw for me is the action scenes. You got the first mission that she does. It's kind of like the chapter 4 in the waterfall kind of nightclub. It's kind of mirrors that. And pretty much all the action is just really captivating. Nice long shots, nice, blood splatter, guns, things like that. So yeah, overall it fits the John Wick films quite well and fits into that universe quite nicely.
So when the flamethrower scene, I didn't see the trailers. I don't know why. And I was expecting it to turn into like a Sub-Zero Scorpion thing, and it sort of did. So again, that was fun. I didn't like the cult aspect like at the end because it felt a lot like the ending of Hot Fuzz.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah,
the
so I was
perfect town.
I was thinking like my mind was taking me. I love Hot Fuzz, but that fits that movie perfectly because it's comedy action. But here I don't know, I wasn't feeling the cult, so yeah, that's just me.
I think because they didn't end it, so they left it open ending, the ending. Like, they
Yeah.
could have just killed everyone in that place.
Yeah.
But the way they ended the film, it was just like, oh, now they leave it open for a sequel, and it's just like,
Yeah, again.
we really could have just made this one thing and had fun with it and just say it. But no, of course, in this day and age, we've got to
Pretty much
see how
ended like
Mick and
chapter
out.
2 of John Wick, if you think about it like that. Like it, where he was like excommunicado and the bounties open on him.
Yeah,
Pretty much
it
ended
is,
exactly
it
the
is,
same.
it is
Very
ending is,
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's just, But like I said, if we went more assassins again, I think I would have been very burnt out
Yeah,
just with a
100%,
different
yeah.
skin. So the cult really, it made perfect sense for me in my brain. It was just the easy way to splash fresh coat of paint on it.
Yeah.
Because everything made sense. Like they're just a little cult town that just. But I liked how all the civilians they look like civilians, but they're all trained and they're all crazy. And I
I was
enjoyed that.
expecting
Yeah.
a kid to pick up a gun.
Yeah, I was
Like-
waiting for that, but then I suppose then she'd have to sort of kill the kid. And that's not a
Yeah.
cult.
Well, they killed a dog, so I mean, they could go that far, I'm sure.
True.
But yeah, no, the cult aspect, I really like that. Something that, yeah, I think you're right.
It makes sense in the universe.
Mm.
Just
If
to shoot
anywhere else, it would have been like Hot Fuzz, like you said.
Yeah, no,
Anywhere else, but I think here it just fits in
Oh yeah.
perfectly.
It,
And-
it feels very seamless.
yeah,
To have a different sort of branch of this assassin sort of everyone's a killer sort of aspect.
and it
of
allows
the
it
world.
to, because like in every other John Wick, when there are like a bunch of assassins going after him, it like sprawls out into like 25 streets, and like we're not
Yeah,
in like
correct.
locales, and you can tell she's good at what she does, but she's not John Wick good.
Yeah.
And like when they're like driving cars and hitting like him with cars and things like that, even he struggles to like take the impacts and things like that. And so keeping it like in that small town really helps her not get as hurt, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Really contains the action.
And she doesn't feel overpowered. Like I never in any
Yeah.
action scene, I didn't think she was as good as John Wick, or she's like this
Yeah.
really overly trained person. Everything was well written. I don't know. Her character didn't really grab me in the sense of like I was compelled and I cared for her a lot. I think the story was just a bit too mundane for me. Like it was
and
too
there's
generic.
like such a throwaway character. Like
Mm.
halfway through, some lady comes in,
Oh yeah.
and what's the point of her? Like there's nothing like adds to it. Like she forgets after that person, get mugged.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's for me, the connection came with the first John Wick when the dog, he's lost his wife, now they've killed his dog, and they've stolen this one thing that you understand from the wife he loves, which is the
Yeah,
car.
it's all
Yeah.
bang
And
bang
so
bang. Yeah.
everything's bad's happened to him, but you feel it. Like,
Yeah, because
I don't know if it's because it's a dog, if that makes sense, but it just like hits you a bit more.
because you
like-
can see him just snap.
yeah.
Because he goes through all that depression. Like they
Yeah.
drain it out, the depression, and then he just snaps. And then you just go on this fun ride. Well, fun for us watching, but not for him.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
go on this fun ride that leads into everything. But for her, it was just like, because we've seen all this sort of done a
lot,
million
yeah,
times.
so many
So
times.
she
yeah.
has a bit of tragedy. She has a major tragedy in her life, and then that sort of sprawls her into this killing machine.
Yeah.
It just
We have
doesn't
seen
have
so
a lot of
many- yeah,
depth to
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
There's
I-
nothing
I
refreshing.
completely agree with you in that respect. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if she was into like, I don't know if they're going to make a sequel or not,
They will.
but I would be interested to see where she goes from here. If she becomes more like John Wick or not, but I'm happy to leave it as is. I'm happy to just let sleeping dogs lie kind of thing.
All right, guys, going to give our scores.
Yeah.
Yep.
Moon, how many ballerinas out of 10?
I'll give 6.75 ballerinas out of 10.
John, how many ballerinas out of 10?
I'll give it 7.75 ballerinas out of 10.
I'll give it 7 ballerinas out of 10. All right, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, check out our socials, and we'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.